Hi, my name is Bunny Cakes and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my June wrap-up and my Emojiathon round 2 wrap-up. I know it's super late. It's actually almost the end of July, but I haven't been feeling very well, so I've been posting old videos and not even a whole lot of those lately. And since I haven't read a lot and I probably won't have much of a July wrap-up, unless I do really well on Booktubeathon, I thought I would still go ahead and do my June wrap up. Once again, all of my books that I read were library books, so that I have already returned. So I'm going to be posting them like right in here, and editing them in later. So the first book I read was It by Stephen King, which was a really good book. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I think that perhaps because Tim Curry played Pennywise the Clown in such a really scary and disturbing way. Oddly, the book was just not as scary as I thought it would be. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I really did, and I will have a review post for it soon. The next book that I read was a children's book called Bedtime for Buzzy, which was really, really adorable. And I really enjoyed it. I'm actually planning to give that book as a gift to a friend of mine. It's a cute little bedtime story for very young children. The third book I read was amazing. It was called The Pecan Man by Cassie Dandridge Selleck. Oh my god, that book was amazing. Probably one of my top favorite books this year. The only one that's close that I've read to it this year is probably the next one that I've read on my list. But Ready Player One is set in the 70s, mid 70s, I think. And it's about an older, privileged white woman, and I don't say privileged just because she's a white woman, she's well off, and her interactions with her maid and her maid's family, and some terrible things that happen to them, and a homeless black man. It is an absolutely amazing book, and if it wasn't a self-published book, if it had been published by a big publisher like Andy Thomas's The Hate U Give or something like that, it would be off the rails huge. It's amazing. It's a short read, but I highly, highly recommend it. I loved it. The next book on my list that I read in June was Ready Player One, which was also a really, really amazing book, and they are in the process of making a movie for this book. I don't know how well the movie's going to do because it seems like it will be difficult with all the rights and stuff that and permission that they'll have to film it properly, because there's a lot of 80s like American stuff that has to go into it with video games and movies and TV shows, but there's also a lot of old school 80s anime and rights that will probably have to be gotten from all sorts of different companies. So I'm a little bit tentative about being excited for the movie because I'm also afraid that because of companies' issues with cooperating with one another, that it might cause some damage to how the movie is done. But I really enjoyed it. It's another one of my top favorites. The let's see, one, two, three, four, fifth book that I read in June was The Wastelands. It's the third installment to Stephen King's Dark Tower series. It is by far my favorite book in the series so far. The story is really picking up. You're really getting to know Roland and Eddie and Susanna, and it's so amazing. And I love the way they did the Susanna character. She's disabled. She's a double amputee. She's black, and she's a civil rights activist, and she's got multiple personality disorder, or DID. it's not done the way you see DID or MPD described in like um, actual psychology or anything, but still she's got kind of a mental illness going on, and she's got some PTSD that she deals with because of various things that have happened to her in her life, and she's she's played as almost as strong of a gunslinger as Roland is, and it's just I love her character so much, and I love the way her character is handled. I mean, it could be handled a little better, but still, it's amazing. I mean, nothing's ever going to be perfect, and that story is amazing. You get a little bit more of Roland's backstory. You get some of Eddie and Susanna's current story, where they're married now and they're falling in love and their relationship is growing. You get a lot more of Eddie's backstory, and it's a good book. Um, the sixth book on my list that I read was, and the last book I actually finished was This Is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare by Gabrielle Sidibe. Oh my god, that book is once again in my top favorites for this year. And I don't even normally like memoirs or biographies or anything like that, but the way she wrote it, it seems like you're sitting down with a really good friend and you're just talking about your past. And she makes you love her family the way she loves her family. And you just get to see Gabrielle Sidibe in a whole new light. And she's just this really amazing person. And there are a few things that she's gone through that I've kind of gone through, or I will be going through, and it helped me see those things in a different light. She talks about her issues with mental illness and her issues having grown up in a broken family. And I mean, it's not super broken. Families are a lot more broken. What I mean by broken is that her mother and father are divorced, and her father had another wife, and it sounds really bad, but it's not through her eyes, and it's amazing to see that. And Gabrielle Sidibe is one of my favorite actresses, and um, I didn't even know she had put a book out, but I found it on the library shelf, and it was amazing. And those books were actually all covered in my first three Emojiathon videos if you want to see more about me gushing over these books. And the last book on my June reads was the first half of Mr. Mercedes. After reading so many books and cramming them in, I kind of hit a little bit of a slump, so I didn't actually finish a whole book for the last week of Emojiathon. I did hit all four challenges, or I hit at least four books, and I hit way more than four challenges. I think I hit most of them. But Mr. Mercedes is another Stephen King book, and it was so good. Even just the first half that I read in June was so good, and they're actually doing a TV show for it. It's June 8th. Let me check and see when that is. It's going to be not June 8th. It's going to be August 9th at 8 p.m. I do not at the moment remember what channel it's supposed to come on. I will look that up and post it in the description below. But yeah, once again, it was an amazing book. And the cover I loved. It has it's like a bloody rain shower, and there's an umbrella on it, and the umbrella is like a blue hollow, and on the handle of the umbrella is a grinning emoji, because Mr. Mercedes, one of his calling cards is a grinning emoji, which was interesting. Um, it's not one of Stephen King's usual books. There's no like supernatural stuff in it. It seems very much outside of the realm of what Stephen King is known for. You know, a lot of his books have something to do with aliens or magic or something. like that. And there's none of that in this. It's just what seems to be like our world. They talk about like events that have happened in our world, like the Oklahoma bombings and the World Trade Center. And there's a boy band in it, and there's the serial killer, Mr. Mercedes. Or, well, he's not a serial killer at this point in the book. It's a series. Before he becomes a serial killer, he's a thrill killer. And it's really interesting. Stephen King did a really good job. And I did finish the book a little bit into the first week of July, and I will have a review posted for it and all of the rest of these books later. I actually think I have posted reviews for the Pecan Man and This Is Just My Face already on my channel. I'll link to those below. I've really, really enjoyed Emojiathon this year, or this round. The very first Emojiathon was my very first readathon, and it was amazing. It's run by Dylan Reader 5 and some other booktubers, and they get bookstagrammers and book bloggers and stuff, and readers on Twitter, and they have sprints and conversations, and it's a really, really amazing readathon. It really got me addicted to readathons. One of the rounds of 24-hour-a-thon was actually during Emojiathon, so I got to participate in two at once. And Emojiathon really got me kind of addicted to readathons. Getting ready to participate in Booktubeathon on Friday. It starts, so I'm loving the summer, loving reading, and loving readathons. But yeah, I read 6.5 books for June and for readathon, so I feel like I did really well. Like I said, it's almost the end of July now. I'm not doing so well. I've completed half a book and most of another book and most of another book. So I don't know if I'll be doing a wrap up for July, but look forward to more videos. Before I post this, I'll probably post my Booktubeathon TBR, and I've got a lot more book reviews and some more discussions coming. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and follow me on all my social media. It's linked down below if you enjoy my content. And keep reading.